Next up will be Josh Quinter. Josh grew up in a military family. He obtained his undergraduate degree at William & Mary, where he studied history and religion. He was a member of the college's varsity soccer team, served as captain for 2 years, competing in 4 NCAA tournaments. He's a partner in a law firm in Bluebell. He lives in Harleysville with his wife of 10 years, and they have 2 children and a dog named Sam. So, Josh is running for the 13th Congressional District, and I've already told you where that's located. Josh, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see all of you. Appreciate you coming out on a rainy Friday night to hear what we all have to say. I was talking to some folks in the back, and it's nice to see people engaged. I'm standing up here tonight and running for the 13th for all the same reasons that you guys are sitting in this room this evening. I got tired of throwing my shoes at the television screen. I got tired of a government that keeps telling us that the answer to our problems is more government when we know that the answer is less. And I got tired of listening to politicians give us explanations that by the time they got to the end, we all sit there and go, huh? So I have a 4 and a 2-year-old, and I decided you can only sit on the sidelines for so long. My father used to say to me, you can complain for a little while, but after a while, you don't have the right to complain anymore if you're not willing to do something about it. So, that's why you're in this room tonight, and that's why I'm standing at this podium. I'm trying to do something about it. I'm scared where our country is going, and I'm going to get out there and I'm going to work as hard as I can work, and I'm going to go tell Allison Schwartz I got a really good retirement plan I want to show you. It's time for you to go home. So, thank you.
Josh, why are you the best person for this job?
I think I'm the best person for this job because I've got the best plan to beat her. I've got a great message, which is your message, and I know how, because of what I do in my day-to-day life, how to get in the trenches, and that's what it's going to take to beat her. We all know that she has been successful because she's never been challenged. She's never been called to the mat. That's what I do every day. I'm ready to call her to the mat and bring her out and say, you know what you're doing is not right. And here's the facts to prove it. And that's how you beat her.
Thank you. Do you think the U.S. is financially stable or unstable?
I think it's unstable right now.
And if it's unstable, then what would you do to restore fiscal stability for the United States?
All right, there's a couple things you can do. The obvious one is the one that everybody in this room knows. Stop spending so much money in Washington. That's an easy solution. All right? The dollars that you have in your pockets as you sit here tonight will be worth less when you wake up tomorrow morning. And that's because they think that the solution to everything in Washington, spend more and print money when you run out. Yep. You start there. That's not the answer. We need to cut spending. There's no question about it. Number 2, we need to keep taxes low. If we start to tax people and increase taxes at a time when we're struggling, the economy is going to go even further south. They tried that in the late 70s with Jimmy Carter. It didn't work. When you take people's money from them, they don't have it to spend. It's that easy. Keep taxes low, people reinvest in themselves, and they reinvest in their businesses. The third thing we can do, which is a pretty simple thing, we have a lot of employers. I've talked to a lot of them. I want to hire somebody, but I don't have any way to do it because I don't have any money. We've got people that need jobs. So where you have the ability to put a willing employer with a willing employee, and you can give them a little bit of a tax break to take it off the bottom line for them and make it a little easier, that'll help. So those are 3 simple things. And you know the beauty of those things? They don't cost anything.
Are you satisfied with the Federal Reserve's role in our money supply?
No, I'm not. I'd tell you one thing we could do right away, and I would push for this immediately if I get elected. We need to audit the Fed. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked. I want to know what's going on inside that building. I want to know what they're doing, because there's a lot of questions that need to be asked and they're not being asked. So I think you start there.
Would you support abolishing the Fed?
I think I would eventually, but first I want to know what they're doing, because they're part of the problem. before you get rid of them, you gotta identify the problem before you get rid of it and deal with it. So let's identify it and then let's get rid of it.
On to healthcare. Would you vote for or against the federal government having a role in managing, controlling, and delivering healthcare?
I would vote against federal involvement. Did anybody here know who the worst offender in terms of paying for healthcare is?
Government.
The federal government is the largest insurer of healthcare. They're the ones that pay the least. They're the worst offenders, yet they're running around telling everybody insurance companies are bad.
Do you think that the federal government's involvement in healthcare is constitutional?
No.
Why?
Where does it say in the Constitution that they have a right to intervene in a relationship between you and your doctor? Tell me where it says it. I've read the Constitution. I know what it says. It doesn't say two words about the healthcare. I heard Justice Scalia talk one time at an event I went to. I think he said it best. The Constitution is not a be-all, end-all. It doesn't solve all your problems. It says what it says, and it only says what it says. You don't read something into it that's not there. It's designed for a specific purpose, and we should stick to that purpose.